Good day. This is Esther from Extra Stars Academy, and today is our story time. We'll be telling stories today. We have lots of stories for today. Okay, trying to set up to make sure everything is okay. It's live stream, live storytelling, live storytelling. I said we're going to play with the English language. We're going to play with the English language. Enough of being serious. So we're going to play with the English language. And in playing with it, storytelling is one of the ways we can play with the English language. Now, reading in English is one of the most effective ways you can improve your language skills. You know, we have different language skills. We have reading, listening, we have speaking. Now, reading is a way you can improve your language skills. And today we're going to read a short stories. It's always good to begin with short stories. And from reading short stories as a beginner of the English language, you will improve to large novels, to big novels. So today we're going to be reading short stories. We're going to be reading short stories. And our story for today, okay, before we go into our story for today, research has shown that students who read in English improve in every area of the language learning. Students who read in English improve in every area of language learning. Not only reading skills, but also listening skills. You should improve in your reading skills and in your listening skills. So I'm going to read a story, then you tell me what your story is, and you converse. We'll converse together, we'll discuss the story. Now, before we go into a story, let's look at why short stories are better for English learning. Why should you learn short stories? Why are short stories good for learning English? Why are short stories good for learning English? One, you get more time to focus on individual words. You have more time to focus on words. When you have short stories, when you read short stories, you have enough time to focus on the individual words. You see the words as they appear on the storybook, individual. So you have more time to focus on the words. When a text is short, you can devote all your time, devote all your energy in the text. When the text is short, you can devote all your time, devote all your energy in the single words as they appear, compared to when the text is lengthy. So one reason why short stories are better for learning is that you can devote your time on the words because you see the words individually. So you have enough time to focus on the words as they appear. You have enough time to memorize the words. You have enough time to learn the new words in the short stories. You have enough time to pick the vocabulary as they appear. So that is why learning short stories is very necessary. Now, another reason why short stories are best for learning is that you can read a whole short story in a sitting. You can sit and read a whole short story. You can sit and read a whole short story. Please, if you're stopping by, we're looking at storytelling for today. Drop a comment and press the like button. We're looking at short stories for today. Now, you can read a whole short story in one sitting. When you pick your short story book, you can read it just sitting at once. That's why reading short stories is best for learning. If you want to learn the English language, you must learn to read short stories. You must learn to read short stories. You can read a short story over and over again. It is better than when you sit to read big novels. It is better than when you sit to read big novels. Now, another reason why short stories are better for learning is that it is best for your consistency. It is far easier to read short stories every day than to read a whole big novel. If you are to read a Thomas Hardy Chase big novel, it could take you 1 week or more. But if you are to get a children's story book, you can finish it in one sitting. Just sit and read it. You go over again, sit and read it. Go over. You find out that you read in a day. You would have read like 5 short stories compared to reading one big storybook in a week. So short stories are best for consistency. It helps you in your consistency. Another reason why short stories are good is that you can easily share it in groups. You can share short stories in groups. You can share short stories in groups. So if you join a book club, an online book club, or you have a club with your friends, you can easily share ideas. You can share concepts. Since you can read it in one sitting, it is good because you can easily share ideas. You can share the concepts. You can discuss the characters. You can discuss the main ideas, which is the theme. You can discuss the plots. You can discuss many things with your friends in one in a group because short stories are short, so you can easily gather together and read it together. Now, most of the times, these groups don't have members that have time for reading long stories or reading long novels. They don't have time to read long novels, so they can gather together, pick a short story book, read it for the day, discuss the main points of the story, discuss the plot of the story, discuss the characters involved in the story. Reading a short story will help your reading skills. Listening to people reading short stories will help your vocabulary. Reading short stories will help your listening skills. When you listen to people as they read the short stories, it will help your reading skills. So it is very good to read short stories. It is very necessary to read short stories. Another reason you should read short stories is that you can focus more on ideas and concepts. Short stories has a way of passing a main point. Every short story has a main point or a concept. So when you read short stories, you get the main idea quickly. The main concept of the story, you get it quickly. Speaking language is using less words and it's more about getting the meaning of the words. So you should use short stories to get meaning of words quickly. That's why you should use your short stories. Short stories helps you in getting the main ideas and the main concept of the stories. And it will help you to fluently speak the English language properly. So reading a short story is essential. Reading a short story is essential. As beginners of the English language, it is necessary that you should begin with reading short stories. Now, our story today is the bogey story. The bogey story. A story for today is the bogey story. What is bogey? What does bogey mean? Bogey is a thing that causes fear without any reason. You're just scared for nothing. It's like being scared for nothing. Why are you scared? There is no reason. You're just apprehensive over nothing. You're you're scared. You're anxious for nothing. You're anxious for nothing. That's what the word bogey means. Our story today is the bogey story. And bogey means being scared for nothing, being afraid for nothing. Why are you scared? Why are you afraid? Why are you anticipating nothing? There is nothing there. You're just anxious over nothing. You're anxious over nothing. That is the bogey story. And that's all we'll be looking at today. That's what we'll be looking at today. Okay? Now, the word bogey, like I said, is a thing that causes fear. So you could have it in your possession, or it could even be with someone, but you are just scared over it for no reason. You're scared for no reason. Now, if you're joining, our story is the bogey story. One thing that will help your reading skills is if you listen properly to a native English speaker. Listen properly to the way words are being pronounced. So as I go over this story, I want you to listen to the story as it is being read. Listen to the story as it is being read. There was once a woman who was very, very cheerful. There was once a woman who was very, very cheerful. Cheerful means to be happy, to be positive, always smiling, joyful, merry. So this woman was always joyful. She was always positive, though she had little to make her so. There was once a woman who was very, very cheerful, though she had little to make her so. She was old, poor, and lonely. She lived in a bit of a cottage and earned little living by running errands for her neighbors, getting a bit here and getting a bit there. She made shift to go on with life, always looking spry, always looking lively, always looking cheerful. And she was always positive, as if she had no wants in the world. Now, one summer evening, as she was trotting, full of smiles as ever, along the high road to her hut, she came across a big black pot lying in the ditch. Goodness me, she cried. That would be just the very thing for me, if only I had something to put in it. But I haven't. Now, who could have left it in the ditch? And she looked about her, expecting the owner would not be far off, but she could see nobody. Maybe there is a hole in it, she went on, and that's why it's been cast away. But it would do just fine if I put a flower in from my window, so I'll just take it home with me. And with that, she lifted the lid and looked inside. Mercy me, she cried. Fair amazed. She was flabbergasted, she was astonished. If it isn't full of gold pieces, here is my luck. And it was full to the brim with great gold coins. Well, at first, she simply stood stock still, wondering if she was standing on her head or her heels. Then she began saying, I do feel rich. I feel awful rich. After she said this many times, she began to wonder how she was going to get the treasure home. It was too heavy for her to carry, and she could see no better way than to tie the end of her scarf to it and drag it behind her like a go-kart. It will soon be dark, she said, as she trotted along. So much the better. The neighbors will not see what I'm bringing home, and I shall have all the night to myself and be able to think what I'll do. Maybe I'll buy a grand house and just sit by the fire with a cup of tea and do no work like a queen. Or maybe I'll bury it in the garden and just or just put it in a big old china teapot on the chimney piece. Oh, maybe, goody goody, I feel that's grand. I don't know myself. By this time, she was already tired of dragging such a heavy weight, and stopping to rest a while, she turned to look at her treasure. And lo, it wasn't a pot of gold anymore. It was nothing but a lump of silver. She stared at it and rubbed her eyes and stared at it again. Well, I never, she said at last. And me, thinking it was a pot of gold. I must have been dreaming. But this is luck. Silver is far less trouble, easier to mind, and not so easily. Pieces would have been the death of me. And this great lump of silver. So she went off again, planning what she would do, and feeling as rich until becoming a bit tired again, she decided to stop and rest and to check her treasure if it was safe. But she saw nothing but a lump of iron. Well, I never, she said again. And I was mistaking it for silver. I must have been dreaming. But this is luck. It's real convenience. I can get penny pieces of gold for old iron, and penny pieces are a deal handler for me than gold and silver. I like the iron. Why? I should never have slept a wink of fear, for fear of being robbed. So on she trotted again, full of plans as to how she would spend her penny pieces, till once more she stopped to rest. And she looked around her treasure and found out it was safe. But this time she saw nothing but a big stone. Well, I never, she said again, full of smiles. And to think I mistook it for iron. I must have been dreaming. But here is luck indeed, and me wanting a stone terrible. Terrible bad enough to stick to my gates. Oh my. But it's changed for the better. It's fine. It's a fine thing to have luck. I need the stone for my gate. So on again, she trotted quickly to the gates to use the stone, to see how she could use the stone to open the gates. And she trotted down the hill till she came to her own cottage. And she opened the gate and turned quickly to unfasten the shore from the stone. Aye, it was a stone, it was a stone. And there was plenty of light in it to make sure it's a stone because it was calm, it was peaceable as a stone should be. So she bent over to unfasten the end of the shore. Oh my! All of a sudden, it gave a jump and a scream. Ah! And in one moment, it was as big as a haystack. Then it let down 4 great lanky legs and threw out 2 large ears, nourished a great long tail, and ramped off quickly, laughing like a naughty, mischievous boy. And the old woman stared at it till it was fairly out of sight. Then she busted laughing too. Well, she chuckled, I'm in luck. Quite the luckiest buddy. Fancy my seeing the Bogey Beast all to myself. And making myself so free with it too. My goodness, I do feel that uplifted. I do feel that grand. So she went into the cottage and spent the evening chuckling over her good luck. That's the story, the Bogey Beast. The Bogey Beast, and I said the word bogey means a thing that often causes fear without reason. Now we've gone through the story, you've listened to the story, we'll go over the story again. This time we'll pick the main words, pick new words, new vocabularies from the story, and say their synonyms and the meaning of the words. This is Esther from Next Two Stars Academy. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do. And if you like my story, press the like button. Give me a thumbs up if you like my story. And if you have a story to share, we all have a story. If you have a story to share, please share it in the comment section. So there is the bogey story. What's your bogey story? What is that thing that causes fear for you even without reasoning? The thing that causes fear for you even without reasoning. The story today is the bogey story, the Bogey Beast, the Bogey story. What's your Bogey Beast? What's your Bogey Beast? Now let's go over the story again. This time, slowly, we'll be looking at the vocabularies, looking at the new words with meaning. Thank you. There was once a woman who was very, very cheerful. And the word cheerful means she was happy, she was positive, she was lively, and she was joyful. Though she had little to make her so, for she was old, she was poor, she was deprived, unpitiable, broke, and she was lonely. She didn't have any friends. She was friendless. She didn't have any friend. And she lived in a little bit of a cottage. She lived in a little hut, a little shed, a small house, a cabin. That's where she lived. And she earned little money. She earned scant money. The money was inadequate for her use. But she still was lively. She still was joyful. She still enjoyed herself. She was still an active person. She was still at a lot. She was always positive. She was always positive. Now, one summer evening, as she was coming back from work, walking briskly, she's always working fast. So as she was trotting down, full of smiles, being positive as ever, along the road, she saw a big black pot lying in the ditch. She saw a big black pot lying in the ditch. The ditch is a channel, is a waterway, is a trench. So she saw a big black pot lying in the ditch. And she screamed, "Goodness me! That would be just the very thing I need. Goodness me! That would just be the very thing I need. That would be just the very thing if only I had something to put in it. But I haven't. Now, who would have left it in the ditch?" She wondered. And she looked about her, expecting she would see the owner around, but she could see nobody. She could see nobody. Maybe there is a hole in it, and that's why it was cast away. But it would do fine to put a flower in for my window, so I'll take it home. So she was always positive. She had a positive mindset. She saw the ditch, she saw the pot in the ditch. She didn't mind the ditch. She went to the pot and she carved out a use for the pot. Maybe I could put a flower in it and put it by my window. Let's continue. And with that, she lifted the lid and looked inside the pot. "Mercy me," she cried, amazed. To be amazed is to be astonished, to be stunned, to be surprised, to be flabbergasted, to be dumbfounded. So she was dumbfounded. She was surprised. When she looked into the pot, she was surprised. If it isn't full of gold, here's luck. So what she saw in, she thought it was gold. Or to her, she saw gold in the pot. And so it was brimful. Brimful means it's packed, it's full, it's almost overflowing, it's brimful. So she thought she saw a black pot of gold full, a black pot full with gold. Well, at first she stood still. She was shocked, wondering if she was standing with a head or a heel. She was wondering, am I awake? Am I okay? What am I seeing? Is everything okay? What is in this pot? Pot of gold for me. Okay, we're back live, and we're looking at the story, the Bogey Beast. Okay, so she looks in the pot, and she thought she saw a pot of gold. And she said, "Wow, I do feel rich. I do feel rich. I feel awful rich. I am rich. I've been made." And she said it many times. And she began to wonder how she was going to get the treasure home. I can imagine a shock. I can imagine her, the way she saw the gold and was exclaiming, "How can I get this gold home?" It was too heavy for her, she said. It was too heavy. So she got her a shawl. A shawl is a scarf, what you use in wrapping as a lady, or tying your hair, or wrapping over your shoulder. So she took her shawl, tied it to the end of the pot, and she dragged it behind her like a go kart. It will soon be dark, she said, as she trotted along, but it will be better. It will be better, so much the better, because the neighbors will not see what I'm bringing in. The neighbors myself and be able to at all like a queen. Maybe I'll sit in the house. I'll buy. Okay, she thought to herself, maybe I'll buy a grand house. That's a bigger house, and just sit by the fire with a cup of tea and do no work like a queen. Or maybe I'll bury it at the garden foot and just keep a bit in the old china teapot in the chimney piece. Or maybe, goody goody, I feel that's grand. I don't know myself. I feel so impressive. I don't know myself. So she was wondering, she was thinking out loud on what she would do with the gold piece. By this time, she was a bit tired of dragging such a heavy weight, and stopping to rest a while, she decided to look at the treasure. Lo, when she opened it, it wasn't a pot of gold at all. It was nothing but a lump of silver. It was a lump of silver. She stared at it and rubbed her eyes and stared at it again. Well, I never, she said at last. And me thinking it was a pot of gold. I must have been dreaming. But this is luck. Silver is far less trouble, easier to mind, and not so easy stolen. The gold pieces would have been the death of me, and this great lump of silver, hmm. So she went off again, planning on what she would do with the silver and feeling as rich as ever. Until becoming a bit tired again, she stopped to rest and looked around to see if the treasure was safe, and she saw nothing but a great lump of iron. Well, I never, she said again. And I was mistaking it for silver. I must have been dreaming. But this is luck. It's real convenient. So she tried to console herself in every of what she thought she saw in the pot of gold. But this is luck, she said. It's real convenient. I can get penny pieces for old iron. And penny pieces are a great ideal handler for me than gold and silver, she said. Why, I should never have slept a wink of fear of being robbed. But a penny piece comes in useful, and I shall sell that iron for a lot and be real rich, rolling rich. So on she trotted again, full of plans, as she wondered how she would spend her penny pieces. Till once more she stopped to rest and looked around her to see if her treasure was safe. And this time she saw nothing but a big stone. She and to think I mistook it for iron. Wow. I must have been dreaming, but here's luck indeed. So she opened the bag and she saw stones. She saw a big pot of. Okay, we are still live. Was stone. She saw a pot full of stone in the bag. The bogey story, the bogey beast. Bogey means being scared for nothing, being afraid for nothing. So when she opened the bag and she saw a pot full of stones, she screamed, "Oh my! I can use this stone to wedge my gate. I can use this stone. I need the stone after all. I can use it to wedge my gate." So on again she trotted with the stone behind the bag as she walked home. And when she got to her cottage, she opened the bag, and what jumped out of the bag was what she couldn't imagine. She thought the stone was going to be peaceful. You know, stone is always calm. Dropped the bag by the gate, and once she dropped the bag, something jumped out of the bag. And what did she see? She saw long, lanky legs. Lanky means within get laughing. And that was how the creature of gold. Then she looks again, the pot became silver. Only for her to look again, the pot was iron. And when she looked, it was stone. And now again, as she opened the bag, it changed to a creature. And she wondered, why have I been scared? Why have I been looking? Why have I been scared for no reason? And as she looked at the creature, she gave a laugh because she had been scared for nothing. This is Esther from Exercise Academy. Thanks for stopping by. Please give a like if you haven't. We are looking at the Bogey story. Bogey means being scared for nothing. Being scared for nothing. What is it that makes you scared for nothing? I would like to hear your story. What is it that makes you scared for nothing? What is it that makes you scared? And at the end of the day, you reason, why was I even afraid? Why was I even scared? There was nothing there for me to be afraid of. I would like to hear your comments. I would like to hear your own bogey story. Bogey means being scared for no reason. So what was it that made you scared for no reason? Like this woman, she thought she saw a bag of gold, and when she took the gold, carrying it home, she opened the gate, and what she saw became silver. Opening the bag again, what she saw became iron, and when she opened it at last, she saw stone, and she was like, why was I even scared? I was afraid for nothing. Why was I scared? I can use this stone to wedge my wall. And she took the heavy object, went to her gate, wanted to use it to wedge the gate, only for her to open the pot, and she saw a creature. It jumped out from the pot with long, lanky legs and long ears and ran to the bush. And she stood, surprised. Why was I even scared for nothing? I've been carrying this thing all along thinking it was gold. And here this thing is, it's not even gold. Oh my, oh my. And she gave a laugh. So what is it that has been making you scared for nothing? Is it the coronavirus in this pandemic situation? Or is it having to go out and what is it? We all have our own situation of being scared. What is your story? Why are you scared for no reason? This is Esther from Exercise Academy. We have looked at the story, the Bogey Beast. And you find out that this woman, she was always positive. Even when she opened the pot and she saw gold, she said, oh, I can have this gold and make money from it. When she carried the gold and she opened the pot and saw silver, she wasn't discouraged. She still kept on. She kept hope alive. She said, I can use this silver and still sell it. It's not even as expensive as gold, but many eyes won't be on me. People won't watch out for me and want to steal my silver. Let me hold on to it. And she held on to the silver. Only for her to open the bag and it became iron. She wasn't still discouraged. She said, I can sell this iron. It's still worth something. Even though it's not like gold or silver, it can still help me. And she continued with the iron. Lo and behold, when she opened the bag, it became stone. My dear, this woman was not discouraged. She still carried the stone. I will use this stone to wedge my gate. I need this stone for my gate. So she kept pressing. She remained positive, even without being discouraged, even with knowing that it wasn't a gold again. So she took the stone, went to her gate, and as she was about opening it to bring out the stone, what came out was not even a non-living thing. It was a living thing. It was a creature. It was a beast that came out with long legs and long ears, and it ran to the bush. She wasn't still discouraged. I think maybe a normal human being would have ran after the beast, carried a stone, and like, so I've been carrying you since. I just carried a stick or a stone and pursued the beast and want to kill it. So I've been carrying you since, and you've been quiet. You allowed me to start thinking it was gold, or you allowed me to start thinking you were silver. But she just sat, she just stood. I was watching the beast and it ran off to the bush. I'm like, I've been carrying you since. And she was smiling. She just chuckled to herself, like, wow, what a creature. Okay, there are many things in this life that will want to weigh us down, but let us not be discouraged like this woman. Let us not be discouraged like this woman. Now let's look at some words and meaning. We're looking at telling stories, learning English through stories. Learning English through stories. We've gone through the stories, the Bogey Beasts. And I said bogey is something that makes you scared for no reason. I would like to hear your story. What is it that is making you scared for nothing? What is it? Are you, okay, as a lady, thinking your man is cheating? Or as a man, are you thinking your lady is cheating on you? And at the end of the day, you find out that you were wrong because your other half was actually okay, or was actually safe with you, or was actually not cheating. As an employer, were you thinking you will be sacked soon by your boss? Maybe you did something wrong and you were like, I'm so scared, I'm so sad, I'm so anxious. What is Everyone has a bogey story. What is your own story? What is it that's made you scared for no reason? As a young YouTuber, are you scared that you would not be able to make it as a young YouTuber, even in these trying times? What is your bogey story? What is it that is making you scared? Is it having to have enough finances to fend for yourself, or having to have having to have enough um, security around you in these trying times? What is your bogey story? Now let's look at some words and meaning. Some words and meaning from this story. The first word in the story we came across was the word cottage. 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 A cottage means a small hut, a small house. So this woman lived in a cottage. She lived in a cottage. She was very poor. She was very lonely and dejected, even though she was positive. She lived in a cottage, and it's a small house, especially in the country. That's where she lived. So she wasn't even among friends. She was on her own, by herself, in the cottage. Now, the second word we came across is a hovel. Hovel, Hovel. A hovel is a room that is very dirty and in a bad state. It's a room that is dirty in a bad condition. It is not fit to live in. This woman, not only did she live in a cottage, but she lived in a hovel. So where she lived was unclean, was unfit for human living, but there she did not mind. She did not mind. She still was positive. She still was okay living in the dirty hovel, in the dirty cottage. Now we came across the word ditch. Ditch. A ditch is a long channel dug at the end of the side of the road to hold water. So she saw the pot of gold in the ditch. She saw the pot of gold in the ditch. Ditch. And we came across the word go-kart. You know, when she saw the pot of gold, she took her shawl, tied it around the pot, and hung it at her back like a go-kart. A go-kart is a small vehicle with no doors, usually used for racing. So she hung it behind her like a go-kart, and she trotted along. She was trotting with a heavy object hung behind her like a go-kart. We also came across this word, chimney piece. A chimney piece is a brick or stone structure that is built by the fireplace. A stone structure built by the fireplace. So, as she trotted along with the gold, she thought to herself, maybe I'll just sit by. After dropping my gold in the chimney, I'll just sit by and do no work like a queen. So she said she would drop her gold by the chimney piece, in a chimney piece by the fire, and just sit around like a queen. Chimney piece. Now we came across this word, haystack. Haystack. Haystack is a large pile of hay used in storing it until it is needed. You know, when you keep on storing things, it becomes a haystack. So you store until you need it. So maybe she thought she could store her gold and use it whenever she needed it. We came across this word also, spry. Spry means to have great power of leaping or running. Spry, S-P-R-Y. Spry. It means to have great power that you could use in leaping or running. So the creature she saw in the pot came out with great spry. So it had great power, it used in leaping or running. Then we came across this word, squeal. Squeal is a high-pitched sound usually heard by a child. When a child screams, it's called squeal. So you could either say squeal or scream. So when the creature came out from the pot, it gave out a loud squeal. That means it gave out a loud scream. The creature screamed. Okay, so those are some words and meaning we saw from our story, the Bogey Beast. And I said bogey means being scared for nothing. Bogey means being afraid for nothing. Learning English through stories. The best way to learn English is by reading short stories. And the best way to learn English is not only by reading, but by listening to short stories. That is why we are dealing with short stories today. You listen as I say the short story, and you can go over it in the description box. After the live section, I'll place the subtitle of the story in the description box so you can go over the story together with me in the... Okay, we're back on live. Okay, now let's look at some new vocabularies in this story. Let's look at some new vocabularies in the story. Learning short stories will help you build your... You can use this vocabulary in your daily work, okay? Okay, we're back live. As from Esther from Exercise Academy, using English to learn stories. Using English to learn stories. Now, the first vocabulary we came about is the word bogey. Bogey. That should be part of your daily word usage. Bogey. Bogey is a thing that causes fear even without reason. It causes fear. Bogey. 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 B-O-G-E-Y. Bogey is a thing that causes fear even without reason. Just making you scared even when it's not supposed to be. Bogey. And we also came across the word cheerful. 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 Cheerful is a word that should be part of daily English usage because we all want to be cheerful. Cheerful. And cheerful means to be positive. It means to always be smiling, to be joyful, to always be happy. No matter what it is, you must be cheerful. You must always smile. Being cheerful, cheerful, cheerful. In these times, and what is around, you have no other choice than to be cheerful. Cheerful. So I want to word cheerful always, not only speaking it but also acting it. Try and always be cheerful. Cheerful. Good. Another vocabulary we came across in the story is the word poor. 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 Poor means to be deprived, to be pitiable, to be broke. So the old woman was poor, but she was cheerful. She was always cheerful, even though she had nothing. She was poor. Poor. Good. Another vocabulary we came across is the word lonely. Lonely means to be without any friend, to be friendless. She lived in a cottage. She was on her own, and she was lonely. She had no friend. Lonely means to have no friend, to be friendless. Do you think there's anybody in this world without a friend? No man is an island, but this woman was an island. No woman is an island, no man is an island. But this old woman was lonely. She didn't have any friend. So the vocabulary lonely means to be friendless, or maybe she had a friend and she was abandoned. So I think the word abandoned can also mean lonely. She was abandoned, she was lost. Maybe at a point in time in her life she had friends, but right now she was lonely. It means she didn't have any friend again. She was abandoned. Okay. Another vocabulary we came across is the word cottage. I've told you the meaning already. Cottage is a small house, especially in the country. It's a small cabin. It's a hut. It's very small. She lived in a cottage. 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 Then we came across the word scant. Scant means very little, very scarce. Scant. Scant. So as she worked, she earned scant living. Means she earned little money for daily life. She earned scant. Scant, scant means little. It means inadequate. It is scarce. It wasn't enough for her, but she wasn't complaining. She was always cheerful. She was always smiling. Scant. Another word we came across is the word spry. Spry. S-P-R-Y. Spry. Spry means to be lively, to be active, to be agile. Spry. This woman was always spry. She was always active. She was always agile. From the story, you could find out that she was always walking fast. The story told us there was never a time she walked slowly, thinking, dejected. She was always active. She was always spry. She was always at alert. So if you have a friend that is always active and at alert, you can say your friend is spry. Spry. Being active, being lively. If you're around people that make you laugh or make you smile, it means you're around people that have the spry attitude. So you should always try and be cheerful and spry. 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 Another word we came across from the story is cheery. Cheery. Cheery is also from the word cheerful, from the word cheer. So from the word cheer, you can get cheery, you can get cheerful. Cheery also means cheerful. It means to be jovial, to be happy, to be jolistic, to be positive, to be optimistic, to be always smiling and merry. Cheery, cheery, merry. So if you forget the word, the meaning of the word cherry, forget the meaning of the word merry. Cherry means to be merry. Merry. Now we came across this word because the woman was always doing it. The word is trotting. Trotting. It's from the word trot. Excuse me. Okay. Trotting is from the word trot. Trot. It means to walk fast. So the woman was always walking fast. She was always trotting. And as she was always walking fast, she had a positive mindset. She was always optimistic. I said there was never a time from the story that we noticed she was always down or thinking. She was always trotting. So if you're fond of walking fast, walking briskly, it means you are trotting. Trotting. Trotting is from the word trot. Another word we came across is the word ditch. 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 Ditch is a channel. Is a channel, a waterway from which water can pass through. Ditch. Ditch. This is Esther from. Okay. Bogey means to be scared for no reason. Bogey means to be afraid for nothing. To be anxious for nothing. Now we're looking at some vocabularies we came across in the word bogey. These live sessions that will help you learn English informally. And we're learning English now through story. With the story, The Bogey Beast. The Bogey Beast. And bogey means to be scared for no reason. Bogey means to be afraid for no reason. I would like to hear your story. What is it that is making you scared for nothing? What is it that is making you anxious for nothing? What is it that is putting the fear in your heart for nothing? At the end of the day, when the fear is there, you find out that, why was I even scared? Why was I anxious? Why was I scared for nothing? There was really no reason to be scared. There was really no reason to be annoyed. So we've gone through the stories. Now we are looking at the words from the stories. If you like my story, please give me a thumbs up. If you like my presentation, give me a thumbs up. If you have a story to share on what's making you on what's giving you the bogey attitude, please share. Romulo Bezerra from Brazil said, good morning, Romulo Bezerra. I'm happy you're here. We are looking at the bogey story, and bogey means to be scared for nothing. How is Brazil today? Romulo, how is Brazil, and how are you today? I hope you're fine. We're looking at bogey, the bogey beast, and bogey means to be scared for nothing. Do you have anything that is making you scared? What is it that is putting the fear in you? What is it that is making you anxious over nothing? We've gone through the stories. Now we are looking at some vocabularies from the story. Another word we came across in the story is amazed. Amazed. Amazed means, Romulo said it's fine. I'm learning English. Yes, I'm here. That's why we are here to learn English live. We're here to learn English live. And today we are learning English through story. We're learning English through story. And I'm sorry you came in late. Thanks very much for subscribing, Romulo. I really appreciate it. Please do give me a thumbs up. Please like my story. And stay tuned every day to my channel for more story. And not only story, I'll be giving you tips on how to learn English informally. So you don't have to take English serious. Like if you hold something too tight, you could kill it. So let English be on the palm of your hand, but hold it lightly. Thanks for your like, Romulo, and thanks for subscribing to my channel. Please stay tuned to the channel. We'll discuss more. And if you have any issue that is bothering you, Esther from Exercise Academy is here. You just place it in the comment section and I will help you calm the issue. I will help calm you down. Today's storytelling. Do you have a story you want to share? Do you have anything you want to discuss? You have anything bothering you? Whatever it is, let me know. Thank you. Okay, now we are looking at vocabulary from the story. We've gone through the story, the Bogey Beast. Now we are looking at vocabulary, some new words from the story. Now in the story, we came across the word brimful. Brimful. Now brimful means to be full, to be overpacked, to be full to the brim. Brimful. Brimful. So when you're fetching a bucket of water and the water is full to the brim, it's filled up, you could say it's brimful. It's brimful. If something is overflowing, it means it's brimful. Brimful. Now we came across the word grand. Grand means to be big. From the story The Bogey Beast, we came across the word grand. 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 And grand means something big, something splendid, something magnificent, something majestic. Grand. Grand. Something big, something magnificent, something majestic. So the woman said she would buy a grand house. It means she thought of buying a big house. She wanted to buy a big house and sit and behave like a queen. So when she saw the gold, she said she was going to buy a big house and sit by the fireplace behaving like a queen. So the word grand means big, 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 big. Esther from Exercise Academy and Story Time. We're doing storytelling. Tell me your story. Today we're looking at the Bogey Beast. And bogey means to be scared for no reason. Let's go over the vocabularies again. Now we came across this. Squeal. I told you the meaning. Squeal means to scream. To scream. To scream or to yell. To shout with a loud sharp sound like a child. To cry. That is what the word squeal means. Now, when the creature jumped out from the pot, it gave a squeal, that means it screamed, and when the woman looked in, she saw a long, lanky legs. Long means tall and thin. Tall, lanky, 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 lanky. The word is lanky. So if you hear someone say he's lanky, it means he's tall and thin. So someone can be lanky, is tall and thin, but I don't think you should use that word for somebody because I think it's an awkward way of 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 describing the person using the word lanky. I wouldn't want you to use the word lanky, but just know it that if you see something that is lanky, the word lanky means tall and thin. Lanky means tall and thin. So when the creature jumped in creature, she didn't even tell us what the creature was, but she saw a tall and thin creature. And what did she do? The next vocabulary is chuckled. Chuckled means to laugh silently. When you laugh to yourself, laughing to yourself is called chuckling. So when you chuckle, you are laughing quietly, you're laughing silently to yourself. So we've gone through the vocabularies from the story The Bogey Beast. And I said bogey means having no fear, having fear for no reason. You don't even know what's troubling you. You're just anxious. Your mind, your heart's just beating, boom, boom, boom. It's just beating. And you're like, why am I even scared? What's troubling me? Do you have a bogey story? Is there something in you that is troubling you? You can share it in the comment section. I said at the end of this live session, I'll place the subtitle of the story in the description box so you can go through the story, go over it again. But if you have something that is troubling you, you can also share it. But I want to tell you, you must be positive. Like this woman, what did we learn from this story? This woman was always positive. She didn't have any fear. There was nothing in her to make her feel sad. Even though she was poor, even though she was lonely, even though she was dejected, she was rejected, she was always positive. She was always smiling. She was always stressing. Going to work, earning the little money she could earn, she still remained positive. In this life, the only thing that can help you is when you're always cheerful. If you're always frowning, you tend to grow old quickly. Give out a smile. Let a smile out. It's free. Give anyone and everyone a smile. Don't carry your face up and down and frowning at nothing. That's what the Bogey Beast story is about. The woman was not afraid or scared. Oh, she at first she was scared for the pot she carried, but when she opened it and saw it was a beast, she started laughing. And I said, most of us, if we had opened the pot and noticed it was not what we thought it was, would have carried something and giving the creature a wipe. So I'll be carrying you all along. I'll be carrying you all along. But this woman was always positive. Stay positive. No matter the situation, stay positive. If you have anything that is making you feel scared or that you are not comfortable with, you can share it. We can discuss it together. But I want you to always stay positive. Now let's look at, we're learning English Live, and this is English Live with Esther. English Live with Esther, and we're looking at some new vocabularies. Now let's look at some phrases that this woman used. These phrases will help your daily life. I said as a beginner of the English language, you should learn to use phrases. If you are not comfortable with your usage of the phrases, learn to write it down, and once in a while, go through your notebook, go over the phrases, and apply them in your daily conversation. Let's look at the sentence the woman said. When she came across the goal, she said, "But I do feel rich." That's an exclamation. Okay, Romilo. So where do I find the story you're commenting on? I think you got it wrong. Oh, Romilo, you came so late. It's been 1 hour. But I can go over the summary. Romulo, I think I should go over the plot of the story for you. But after the live section, I'm going to place the subtitle of the story in the description box. I will place the subtitle of the story in the description box. It's called The Bogey Beast. The Bogey Beast. Bogey spelled B-O-G-E-Y. The Bogey Beast. But I will help you, okay, good. I will help you by placing the subtitle of the story in the description box. So you can read the story and stay positive. I will put the subtitle there so you can read the story and stay positive always in life. Thank you. I hope you understand me. Good. Okay, now let's look at the phrase the woman said. But if you want me to go over the plot again, not the full story now, I can give a summary of the story. If you want me to go over the summary, or if you're comfortable with just waiting for the description, no problem. Now let's look at the phrase the woman said. She said, "But I do feel rich." I do feel rich. I do feel rich. I feel awful rich. So when she came across the pot of gold, she exclaimed, wow, I do feel rich. I feel awful rich. I feel good. I feel rich. I think that should be a phrase we should learn. I feel rich. Do you feel rich? I feel rich. Whether it's showing or not, whether your friends are seeing it or not, you should always feel rich. You should always feel rich. You should be optimistic and be positive about yourself. If you're positive about yourself, no one can change your mindset. Like this woman, she saw the pot of gold and she exclaimed, I do feel rich. And even when the gold was changing, from gold it became silver, she remained positive. The pot changed from silver to iron, she stayed positive. And when the pot of iron changed from silver to from iron to stone. Okay, we're back live. I'm sorry for the breaking transmission. I think network is having it stolen us, but we are live now. Okay, the woman saw a creature. She thought she had been carrying a non-living thing. But when she got to her destination, what she saw was a creature. And the creature jumped out of the pot and gave her a laugh. And as the creature was laughing, the creature ran away. And the woman did nothing. She just stood and was like, have I been carrying you since? And I thought you were gold? Have I been carrying you since and I thought you were silver? Have I been carrying you since and I later thought you were iron? And now you are just a creature? So she just laughed. She couldn't help but laugh because it was so funny. So in this life, we may have come across something that we are not supposed to be anxious over. We may have come across, okay, now imagine what she saw was gold. She could have killed herself for nothing, thinking it was gold. Or she was even like, I want my neighbors to be asleep so that I will take this gold quickly in, not knowing she was carrying a creature. Don't pressure yourself over nothing. Be anxious over nothing. There is nothing in this life that should make you kill yourself for anything. You must be positive, be cheerful, stay active, stay lively, and stay at alert. That is the main lesson from this story, the Bogey story, the Bogey Beast. Now let's look at another phrase the woman said. She said, okay, when she came across the gold at first, she said, I'll bury it in the garden foot and just sit and behave like a queen. Then when she later saw it was silver, she said, wow, I must have been dreaming. I must have been dreaming. You know, when you see something surprising, you make that exclamation. I must have been dreaming. Is this what I thought? I must have been dreaming. I must have been dreaming. Not usually or necessarily you falling asleep and dreaming. It's a phrase you can use. I must have been dreaming. When something surprised you and all of a sudden you find out that what you were anxious over was really nothing, you can use the phrase, I must have been dreaming. Is that you over there? I must have been dreaming. I must have been dreaming. So when she later found out that the pot of gold wasn't a pot of gold again, but a pot of silver, she exclaimed, I must have been dreaming. I must have been dreaming. But then she consoled herself. Well, I love this woman. She was old, she was poor, she had nothing, but she consoled herself even when she later found out that the gold pot she thought was gold became silver. She just said, wow, I must have been dreaming. And here I am, thinking that was gold, and it's not even gold, it is just silver. She consoled herself, well, silver is okay. I can make money from the silver. I can make money from the silver. And she again took the pot again on her shoulder and she trotted along, still happy. Now, another phrase she used again, when she later found out that it wasn't even silver, that it was iron, she still exclaimed. And when she found out that it wasn't iron and it was stone, she said, and to think I mistook it for iron, I must have been dreaming. So I think that phrase, I must have been dreaming, is something you use when you are surprised that something you thought was there. Something you thought was there. You come across it and look at it and this thing like, I thought it was, I must have been dreaming. You're like, you can clean your eyes. Is this what I thought it was? I must have been dreaming. Some people even slap themselves. I must have been dreaming. So that was what the woman thought. When she opened and saw that it wasn't silver, it was iron, she exclaimed, wow, I must have been dreaming. I must have been dreaming. I must have been dreaming. Good. Now, this phrase, I'm in luck. Everyone is in luck. So learn that phrase. I'm in luck. I'm in luck. I'm in luck. So when something good happens to you, you can say, I'm in luck. I'm in luck. Because she used this at the end when she later found out that the stone wasn't a stone, but a creature. She said, I'm in luck. Tell me, what would she use the creature for? Why did she say, I'm in luck? The creature ran and left her and went to the bush. And she still said, I'm in luck. And she said something, quite the luckiest body. She admired the body of the creature. She saw good in everything. She admired the body of the creature. The creature's body was tall and thin. It was lanky. And she said, I'm in luck. Quite the loveliest body. Quite the luckiest body. Fancy my seeing the Bogey Beast all to myself. I'm making myself so free. So there was something in her heart. I think her heart was heavy. And she was carrying the iron. And she was carrying the gold at first. Hey, hope no one will see me. I don't want anyone to attack me. So when she later found out it wasn't even gold or silver or iron or stone, it was a beast, she said, I'm in luck. I'm in luck. And she admired the body of the beast. She said, quite the luckiest body. She saw good in it. She saw good in it. Our story has been the Bogey story. The Bogey story. And this is Esther from Extra Stars Academy. Excuse me. Okay, this is Esther from Extra Stars Academy, and I said we're going to be looking at the informal ways we can learn English. Reading short stories is very necessary. You should learn to read your short stories. Why? Because you can finish it in one sitting. You can finish your short stories in one sitting. You can decide to sit, pick your short story book, and go over it. And as you're going over your short stories, it will help your vocabulary. Don't settle for big novels. I tell my students, if you want to learn English, don't start with reading big novels because it will bore you out. You'll get tired quickly. Pick short stories. A story you can sit and finish in 1 hour, in 30 minutes, in even 10 minutes. There are stories you can quickly read in 10 minutes. If you want to learn English, you must first of all settle for short stories. Pick up short stories, read them, get their vocabulary, and it will help you. And you have time to focus on the words as they appear. Now in our story, The Bogey Beast, we have gone through the vocabularies, we have gone through new words and their meanings. Why? Because it's a short story. So when you're reading a short story, you have time to pick out the words, you write them down in your notebook. As a learner of the English language, you must always have your notebook and your pen. So as you're reading, flipping through the pages of the book, you come across a new word, make sure you jot it down. Make sure you write it down, have your dictionary close to you, so you check out the meaning of the word, and if you can't pronounce the word, you Google it. There is any word and every word online. So you can Google, pronounce this word, and the right pronunciation of the word will come out from the search results. Then you can pronounce the word, get the meaning of the word, and apply it in your daily life. So reading short stories is very necessary. Now, short story is also good because you can share with your friends. The story we had today, The Bogey Beast, you can go over it again. After the live section, I'll place the subtitle in the description box. You go over the short story. It will help you. When you're discussing with your friends, you can discuss the words, the vocabulary with your friends. And I said bogey means something that causes fear for no reason. I think at a point of time in our lives, we have experienced the bogey fear. I think everyone has a bogey story. I think in everyone's life, we have experienced something that has caused us fear, and at the end, we're like, what was I even scared of? What was I even scared of? I think growing up as a child, if I can't actually place one or two examples, but I know it happened. Growing up as a child, I did something bad, and I'll be like, oh, I'm sure daddy will spank me, or I'm sure my mom will spank me. But at the end of the day, when mom and dad returns, I'll find out they didn't even notice it or they didn't even spank me. And so I've been scared for no reason. I've been anxious for no reason. Everyone has a bogey story. Thank you, Romulo Primitives. Thank you very much. I really appreciate. Everyone has a bogey story. So, but you must stay positive. You must stay anxious because if you put it in hearts, it could spoil your day. It could spoil your day if you're anxious over nothing, if you're just scared for no reason. We are looking at learning English through stories. And I said, begin with short stories. Begin with short any story. You can also Google short stories for English. You must learn to use the internet. You must learn to, you could even go to a bookstore and get short story books, not lengthy or big novels. Get short story books. It will help your daily conversation. And not only that, jot down. Learn to jot down whatever story, whatever word you come across from the story. This is Esther from Esther Stars Academy, and we've been looking at the story, The Bogey Beast. Every Wednesday, or every Thursday, today is Thursday, so every Thursday, we'll look at storytelling, learning English through stories. But if you want me to do it twice a week, you could let me know in the comment section. Let me know. And if you have all the stories you want to share, your personal story, you can also share with Esther. In the comment section, you can tell me your boogie story. What is it that has been making you anxious for nothing? We've been looking at the story, The Bogey Beast. And we've gone through the story, we've gone through the vocabularies, we've gone through new words and meaning. I really appreciate everyone for stopping by. I really appreciate your comments, especially Romulo from Brazil. Romulo, Romulo said, I'm going to switch to short story because I think I'm managing to evolve reading. Okay. I'm managing to evolve reading family stories in English, like some from Disney, some of these tales. Yes. Okay. Short stories is the best. Read short stories. Disney also have short stories. They have short stories for kids. The reason why I said short stories are good, they are usually, some of them are bedtime stories, is because it's made for kids. It's made for kids. And as learners of the English language, you need to think like a child to be perfect. Meaning, you need to read children's storybooks. You need to watch children movies. Watch children movies. You mentioned Disney. That's a very good. No, Disney is okay. Disney is okay. Learn like a child. You know, when a child wants to learn the language at first, it takes time. It takes time. And the parents or the teacher have to read for the child. And the parents wouldn't want to read a big novel. You have to start from short stories. That is why it's necessary for you to read short stories. Romulo, I hope you understand, and I really want to appreciate your participation. We'll be having more of live and learning English live with Esther every day, but our short stories will be confined to Thursdays. But if you want me to have the short stories twice a week, you can let me know in the comment section, but our short stories will be confined to Friday. Stay tuned always to learn English with Esther. We've been looking at the Bogey Beasts. Our story has been the Bogey Beast. If you're just joining us, our story has been the Bogey Beasts. And I said the word bogey. Thank you very much, Romulo. Thank you. And I said the word bogey means something that causes you fear without any reason. Romulo, have you experienced something in your life that is causing you fear without any reasoning? If you're just joining us, you can also join in and participate. Even though you came in late, still tuning in. Every Thursday we'll be having storytelling. And I said our story is the Bogey Beast. And if you like my story, if you like my presentation, please give me a thumbs up, give me a like. And if you haven't subscribed to Extra Stars Academy, do more live sessions to play language. And when you play with the English language, when you play with it, it will get used to you as a child. If you want to learn a skill, you need to play with it. You know, children like playing. They are not playing for nothing. They are playing to learn it. And you find out, be like, I thought this child didn't understand, but the child has been learning to play. So we're learning English to play in our live sessions. We've been looking at the Bogey Beast, and I said bogey means being afraid for no reason, something that causes you fear for nothing. What is it that is making you anxious for nothing? What is it that is causing you fear without you even realizing it? And at the end of the day, you find out, why was I even scared? Why was I even anxious for nothing? I give you an example. I said as a child, I did something bad, and at the end, I was scared throughout that day because I was waiting for my mom to return in the evening. So throughout that day, I was scared. I thought she would spank me. I thought she would beat the living daylight out of me. And it spoiled my day because having that fear in my heart, I couldn't do anything. I was just scared for nothing. But at the end of the day, when she came in, she didn't even notice what I did wrong. She didn't even notice I misbehaved. Everyone has a bogey story. But the thing behind the bogey story is you must remain positive. Remain positive. Remain positive. Even at your place of work, someone might show this kind of attitude that will make you look act like, am I going to be sacked? Will I lose my job? But if you put it in your head like, I'm going to lose this job, it will affect your performance in the office. But if you stay positive and you are always lively, no matter what, I will scale through, no matter what, this job, I'm going to be in this job, no one is going to take me out of this job, my dear, you will still remain there. So always be cheerful, always stay positive, look at the bright side of life. No man is an island. No man is an island. You can do anything if you want to. If you put your mind at it, you can do it. This woman was always positive. She was always cheerful. She was always lively. Even though she had... Romulo, thanks very much. Thanks very much. I really appreciate you. Please don't miss any of my class. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks for everything. Okay, so this woman was always active. She was always lively. She was always up and doing. From the story, we could find out that she was always trotting. And the word trotting, I said, it means to walk briskly, to walk briskly, to walk fast. And when you're walking fast, you don't even have the time to think of any problem, of anything you left at home. It's only when you're walking slowly, you start thinking, oh, what did I do? Am I poor? But this woman was always walking fast. She was always walking briskly. She didn't think of anything. There was no trouble in her heart. Even though she was dejected, there was no trouble in her heart. Even though she was lonely, there was no trouble in her heart. Even though she didn't have any money. Always be cheerful, my friend. Always stay positive. That's the main lesson from the story, The Bogey Beast. Our next story could be on Thursday, next week Thursday. But like I said, if you want to have the story section twice a week, please let me know. Please let me know. And stay tuned to every of our live sessions. The live sessions will be every day. So I'd rather you press the bell button. When you subscribe to the channel, press the bell icon so you will get notifications on every of our live videos and every of our other videos. Going through our videos, we have videos on pronunciation, we have videos on vocabulary, and we have our live session videos. And this live session is just to play with the English words. It's just to play with the English language. No man is an island. I'm here for you as a friend. If you have any question, anything troubling you in the English language, you can let me know and we'll discuss, be it related to the topic or not. Be it related to the topic or not, we can discuss whatever it is that is troubling you. I really appreciate everyone that came to listen to my story. I appreciate everyone that came to listen to my story. I appreciate the thumbs up I got. I appreciate the likes. I appreciate the comments. Romulo from Brazil, I really appreciate you. Thanks for being my students. Thanks for subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe to this channel and press the bell. Press the bell so you'll be notified on more of our videos. I think that will be all for now on Bogey Story. Okay, as a good teacher, I'm going to ask this question. Does anyone have a question? You know, after telling stories or after teaching, it is good you ask questions. So I'm asking question now. Is there any question? Does anyone have a question? The network is fluctuating. I can see some of my students coming in and going out. I guess it's network issues. But if you have any question, you can let me know, whatever the question is. The network is fluctuating. Some of my students are coming in and going out, and some are still there watching. It's question time. As a good teacher, I'm asking if you have a question, you let me know. It's always good after teaching to ask questions. So if there's any question, you let me know. Okay, thank you very much, Romulo. You're still there. I appreciate you. And please, my advice for you is to be positive. Everywhere is attacked with the pandemic, the coronavirus pandemic. Okay, so at this moment I want to listen and try to understand. I like your passion. Your heart is in it. Once your heart is in the language, you will learn it. And always use in your daily conversations. Always use the language in your daily conversations. Try and be among friends that speak the English language. Be among friends that speak the English language. It will help you. Try not to speak in your local dialects. What do you speak in Brazil? What language do you speak? What's your official language there? Try and speak. Romulo, are you there? If you're there, you can answer this. What's your official language in Brazil? And what do you speak most of the time? What do you communicate with? Because being among friends that speak English will help you greatly. You find out that 90% of your conversation in the day is in English. It will help you greatly improve in your English. Portuguese. Wow. You converse in English, like how often do you converse in English? But you write well, you write well. Your writing skill is good. Your writing skill is good. You know, we have the listening skills, we have the writing skills, we have the reading skills. Your writing skills is good. It's okay. I think are you having a challenge with your speaking skills? If you're having a challenge with your speaking skills, learn to talk often. Learn to speak often. It will help you. Learn to speak often. You can join online clubs. My city have more multinational companies. Okay. That means you also come across people that speak the English language. You need to learn. Good. And I'm happy your mind is set on wanting to learn, Romulo. And I thank you for subscribing and have you pressed the bell so you can stay tuned to Exercise Academy anytime and every time we upload the new videos? I would like you to follow me. If you follow up with my videos, also Google, using the internet, you will be good in the English language. You will speak like a native speaker. But you must converse always. You must speak always. Don't be scared of speaking. Don't be scared. You know, as a learner of the English language, everyone understands. So even when you make a mistake, they will laugh at you. Even when you make a mistake, no one will laugh at you. But when you make a mistake all the time, take note of your mistakes and try not to make that same mistake again in your speech. But just converse. That's why I said you should read short stories. Just take a short story and you can read aloud. Don't read silently. Pick your storybook and read it aloud. Read aloud. Read aloud. Read the words individually. Read aloud the words. And as you read aloud the words, you find out your English is improving. Then read anything. If you're walking along the road, you come across a signpost, read it. If it's in English, read it. If you see any write-up anywhere, if it's in English, read it. Anything you see in English, read it out. It will help your English. And do you like watching movies? I gave a live section of tips to help you learn the English language. 2 days ago, we had a live session of tips to help you learn the English language. So you can go to the video and watch it. I gave 10 tips. So now you can learn the English language. Like you have to think like a child. You will need to watch English movies. Watch English movies. I'm saying the word English. I'm stressing it because you want to learn the English language. So you need to watch English movies. Yes, when you watch English movies, repeat what they're saying. If you like a phrase, try and say it the way the person said it. Repeat it after the person. And if you have your notebook and your pen, you could jot it down. So whatever you hear in movies, it will help you because English movies are made in Hollywood. Hollywood is for English films. So watching Hollywood will help you in your English language. And also, you should listen to music. You like listening to music? Listen to music because listening to music will help you. English music now. English, not music in your native language, not English in Portuguese. Listen to English music. English music will also help you in your language. I believe I'm in that step of doing the mental unblocking, thinking and speaking in English, and not thinking, okay, and not thinking in English, trying to translate to Portuguese and speaking in English, you know. Okay, good, good. Think in English. I think if I get you, you're trying to switch or change your mental thinking from thinking in Portuguese to English. Thinking, okay. Step of doing the mental unblocking and thinking and speaking in English and not thinking in English, trying to translate in Portuguese and then speaking in English. I get you, I get you. It begins from the mind. I'm happy you're following. It begins from the mind. So you have to first of all try and think in English. Maybe you could look at different objects as it comes. What's this object in English? What's this item in English? What's this item? What's this item? So once your mind is set that as you are thinking in your mind, this is English, you're not thinking in Portuguese. Whatever object, you can start from the object in your house. What's this? What's this? What's this? What's this phrase? What's this phrase? So once you see an object or a phrase, and the first thing that clicks to you is the meaning of that thing in English, then you are set. I understand you perfectly. I'm happy you're trying to start with your mind and your senses. I'm happy you started with that. It will help you. It will help you. It will help you. I really appreciate you. Okay, so we've been having questions from Romulo Bezer from Brazil. I hope I got your name right. I hope I'm pronouncing it properly. Romulo Bezer. Romulo Bezer. We've been having questions from Romulo Bezer. I hope I got the pronunciation correctly. Romulo Bezer. Okay. Any other questions from anybody? Romulo, I hope you're okay. I hope I've answered your questions. I hope we are on the same page. I hope we are in line with each other. I'll be having another live session again this evening. Okay. Oh, I really appreciate Romulo. I really appreciate you. My greetings to all Brazilians. Send my greetings. Send my greetings. And thanks for the hug. Thanks for the hug. Thanks for the hug. Thanks for the hug. I really appreciate. I really appreciate. Okay, we'll be looking at the Bogey story. We'll be having our live session again in the evening. It is Nigeria now. It's past 1 p.m. So in the evening, we'll be having another live session, like 10 hours time. You can check it. You can calculate it. Romulo. Okay, it gave me a pronunciation. Bye, Romulo. Big hugs for you. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate the questions, your comments, and for the help for subscribing, for the like also. I really appreciate. Okay, we'll be having this live again in 10 hours time. Oh, so just press the bell. Once you press the bell, you'll be notified whenever Esther is on Extra Stars Academy. And if you come across this video late, do subscribe if you haven't, and press the bell, give a like, and if you have any question, you place it. I said after the video, I'll place the description of the subtitle of the story, The Bogey Beast, in the description box. So I would want you to go over the story with me. You say it the way I say it. One thing that can help you as a native, to be a native speaker, is if you listen and mimic. Listen and imitate the speaker of the language. So once you listen to the story, try and say it the way I'm saying it. Try and repeat every phrase, every word, exactly the way I say it. Once you listen to conversations, once you're watching news or watching movies, try, listen, and mimic. Listen and imitate. Listen and mimic. It will help you to be a good English language speaker. That's all. We'll be having a live session of the book story. I feel so excited, but we have to go so we can prepare for the next live section. Thanks so much. Thanks to everyone that stopped by. Thanks to everyone watching. Thanks to those watching that has refused to comment. You can give a comment. But I can see your like. I can see your like. Thanks for liking. Thanks for liking. Thanks for liking. I really appreciate. God bless you. So that's all for today. See you again. Till we meet again. I'll be dreaming of your face. Till we meet again. Bye-bye. Stay blessed. Stay safe. Stay safe. Stay safe. Stay safe. I want to see you safe. I want you always to be tuned to this channel. I want you to stay safe. So stay safe for Esther, and we'll see less than 12 hours time. I'll be here for you. Press the bell so you'll be notified whenever I have a live section. Bye. Stay safe.